This is Channel 25 WVTT Olean. Now, from the Twin Tiers' biggest broadcast news operation, this is the 6 o'clock report with Jeff Andrulonis and Alexa Olson. Listen on News Radio 96.7 WVTT or watch on News Channel 25 WVTT television. WVTT proudly presents the 6 o'clock report.
Good evening. I'm Alexa Olson. Jeff Andrulonis is off tonight. Topping the 6 o'clock report, the House has voted dozens of times over the past year and a half to repeal or cut funding to provisions of the healthcare reform bill. Now it's preparing to vote again for the first time since the Supreme Court upheld most of the Affordable Care Act called Obamacare by critics. The House will be debating a new repeal bill today, leading up to a vote on Wednesday.
Republicans spoke out against the health care reform bill at Monday's House Rules Committee meeting.
With the Supreme Court ruling that it's constitutional doesn't mean that it's good policy for the country.
Since the law was enacted, the American people have consistently told us one thing. They do not like Obamacare.
Democrats spoke against repeal.
You talk about repeal and replace. All we've heard is repeal. There's no plan to replace. None.
The Republicans are more interested in protecting insurance companies' interests rather than protecting patients' rights. The truth is, only insurance companies gain from repeal.
Texas Governor Rick Perry says he will not carry out key parts of the Affordable Care Act. He says he won't expand Medicaid and won't implement a state insurance exchange. On Fox News, he said he has a better idea.
To block grant those dollars back to the states. That is the single most effective way to efficiently and effectively allow health care to be better implemented in the states.
I'm Ed Payne reporting.
Congressman Tom Reed is calling the full implementation of Obamacare a calamity for seniors as the new health care law cuts $500 billion from Medicare over 10 years. Congressman Reed said that all in all, this law means higher costs and less access for senior citizens through the law's immediate cuts to Medicare. Reed added that the bottom line is that Medicare needs to be preserved, not cut. Students at Pennsylvania's 14 state-owned universities will pay about 3% more for tuition and technology fees in the coming school year, following action Monday by the Board of Governors of the state system of higher education. Even after graduation, it's hard to find employment, and if you have been receiving unemployment benefits, you could be asked to pay some of it back. The government overpaid $14 billion in benefits last year, and now they want it back. Felicia Taylor explains who's making the errors and what the government is doing to fix it.
Overpayments are a rampant problem in the unemployment insurance system. The U.S. Justice Department estimates that an extra $14 billion was paid out in 2011, and that's 11% of all the unemployment checks sent out last year. Most end up in the hands of three types of people: those who aren't actively searching for a job, people who quit their jobs or were fired, and those who continue to file claims even though they found a job. Now, all of those circumstances make a person ineligible for benefits, but they can still get checks if there's some sort of an administrative error made by the government, the employer, or the worker. That makes it hard to track and to stop completely. There are also some cases of fraud, but those are rare. When the government finds an error, they typically send a letter asking for the money back, although some people could get out of repayment if they're in financial distress. In some states, the recipient can be taken to court. They can have their wages garnished or their tax refunds taken. Despite those efforts, the government fails to recoup most of the money. I'm Felicia Taylor in New York.
The Olean Common Council will reconvene today. A committee of the whole meeting will start at 6:30 tonight, and the regular meeting of the Common Council will start at 7:30 in the council chambers. On the agenda tonight, the council will continue discussing authorizing Mayor Witt to apply for funding for Bradner Stadium through the Consolidated Funding Application Process. The CFA is a state program that finds grants and funds through state agency-sponsored programs for community development projects. The Bradner Stadium renovation project is eligible for such funding. The Committee of the Whole previously recommended approving the mayor to fill out that application and referred that matter over to the city attorney to be resolved. Stay locked on News Channel 25 WVTT for more of the area's latest breaking news on the 6 o'clock report. Keep it here, Twin Tiers.